Hello there, ladies and gents. I am the Spiffing Brit, and I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. Oh god, I hope you like this funky 80s music I've got going on in the background. It's certainly something really good. It's from the BBC actually, the 1982 election I do believe. And of course, we have some brand new fan art in the background by Kaliningrad Wall. This was created just for this episode here today. We have the US over on the left about to throw some wonderful British tea into the sea, the absolute barbarians, and the Russians, the of course 100% Slavs, doing their squatting-based battle stance to deal with the United States of America. So what are we going to do here today? Well, we want to basically set up a game in which the United States has a fair and even fight with the Russians. Now, the Russians are, of course, called the Soviet Union because this is Hoi 4 and we're incredibly limited. Now, it did take a fair bloody while to set up because, that's just the way Hoi 4 is. Sorry, we interrupt this segment of the video to bring wonderful news about the Hearts of Iron 4 Steam Key giveaway which I was doing. We had over 30,000 entries, which for me personally is rather insane. Hats off to all of you. And the winner was Azu, who comes from Poland, and he won the game. Well, basically fair and square. It's a giveaway, you just do an entry. So yes, he's won the Hearts of Iron 4 key. I double checked to make sure he wasn't a bot, and he isn't. He's a live, real human being, and so he's been granted the key. So congratulations to Azu. However, this giveaway was such a success that I think that, I should probably consider doing another one in the future. So in the comments, please do tell me what kind of things you'd like to see being given away, when you'd like to see them being given away, and I would probably guess that yes, in the distant future, I will do a fair few more giveaways. Anyway, onwards with the video. I hope you do enjoy it and give it a like if you want. Now, you will probably notice in the top left and right hand corners I have US 0 and Russia 0. That's because I want this game to be a little bit more exciting than just your standard one country versus another. This is a best of 3 scenario for Russia and the United States, two very quite, I'd say they have strong national pride, I believe is a good way to put it. So that way I think it's best to test them in a multiple game kind of situation. Now, both countries here are exactly equal, same amount of manpower, same amount of equipment. It is purely up to their national pride and abilities and their AI and the way Paradox has coded them to see who is stronger. And of course, the fun doesn't just end there. It will also be up to you guys in the comment section to vote on who you think will win the game. It's best of 3, so just because, say, the Soviet Union wins the first game doesn't mean they might win overall. So I'd be very interested to see your opinions in the comments as to who should win and why you think they'll be winning. Anyway, let's get on with this game. Anyway, let's dive into this. In the red corner, we have Russia, because, they're always perceived as the Reds by those Americans. And of course, in the blue, wonderful, we have everything on our side corner. We have the United States of America, Freedom Inc. Incorporated. Anyway, I just let the AI set up their country a little bit there before we actually start the game. But immediately we're in, and the United States do quite a good push straight into the front line of the Soviet Union. However, you might notice that it's not the end of the Soviet Union there. They're actually holding, and they have taken back a few promises, and they're making a few occasional pushes. Good for you, Soviet Union. Although I keep calling them Soviet Union. They're not the Soviet Union, they're Russia. They don't want to be called the Soviet Union. Stop calling them the Soviet Union. They'll get very annoyed. Following the shocking and unexpected leak that Putin was actually a communist, the Russian army suddenly sees the activation of Order 227. That's right, the famous order which hasn't been issued in a very long time. Not one step back, my Russian comrades. But even though it's been activated, we can see that Putin is still on the back foot here as the United States Army pushes closer and closer to the river line. However, even though the United States Army is currently winning the ground battle, the Soviet Air Force, on the other hand, is doing something incredible in the skies. They're somehow managing to slow down the United States advance. However, without much close air support, they're not really able to utilize their advantage. We can see that the Soviets briefly tried to activate a counterattack plan, but really they've just been on the back foot for a long while now. Anyway, who do you think would actually win, Putin or Trump? They're two very interesting people. I mean, the issue is if Trump were to win, Putin would have to try and burn the document saying that he got Trump into power. Or did he? Who knows? Who knows? Certainly, if I don't respond within maybe 5 working days of this video, we'll know that the CIA has knocked down and seized my tea supply, consequently starving me out to death and meaning I can't make YouTube videos anymore because I physically require that tea. Anyway, the Russians, they're not in good form at the moment. They do lose land and they do occasionally take it back, but the balance of power is definitely not in their favour. The United States have seized a fair bit of the Russian industry, they've seized a fair bit of the Russian land, and as a result it puts them in an advantage. But a brief attack is being made at the moment by the Russians, and they're actually making some land gains in the... oh, no, the south just fell, although some American troops were just encircled and cut off, but that was a good push nonetheless by the United States. Certainly a lot of armour and mechanised divisions thrown out there. Now, some of you might not notice this, but we're actually we're 4 years into this war. 4 years, if you can believe it. This war's been going for 4 years, and that's how much they've moved. I'm not saying that the Germans could have done a better job, but the Germans did do it. In fact, even the French might have done a better job, actually. At least someone would have capitulated then. These two guys are just so evenly matched. It's taking them years and years to actually make a push against each other. Come on, United States. Come on, Russians. Do something. Oh, you know what? I've got a bottle of Iron Brew here. It's the national drink of Scotland, by the way, for many of you who don't know. So I'll be having a sip of this because, oh my god, this game. Come on, United States. Make a move. You've got the advantage. Russians are doing a very interesting battle plan from the south there. Didn't pay off. No land was gained. It's a full attack from there, but for some reason, when the Russians attack, the Americans immediately attack backwards and gain land. God, you Russians, you shouldn't waste your organisation on a early attack when it's not planned and you don't have the troops to reinforce as the attack fails. As a result, the Russians lose even more land. I'm pretty sure the Russians are at about maybe, I'd say, 2/3 of their original strength in terms of landmass. The Americans are making another few weird pushes, but the Russian push is actually looking a lot more effective this time. But once again, will it follow the trend that it will eventually crumble? And it looks like it is down in Crimea. Yep, they've lost Crimea. That's their access to the Black Sea basically gone. And the Americans are kind of cutting them off from their access to the Middle East, and they're encircling around Moscow. The Americans are now on the border of Moscow, and oh my god, hopefully this game doesn't crash, because we're almost nearing 1950, and when the game gets there and you've got two big overpowered countries, it has a habit of crashing, so please don't. Let's zoom in and take a look at some of this. Madison, no, it's gone. Okay, now following that very interesting game crash, I'm kind of firmly under the impression that the United States probably would have eventually won that. And so in this second game, I've given Russia some buffs, 10% buffs in fact, and oh my god, I've set the game off and... Come on, Russia! Come on, Russia! What is this border call? Oh, my eyes! My eyes, please, can we get a replay? Oh! Oh god, my eyes! Oh, I can't see anymore! Oh my good god, that border goal was horrific! Jesus Christ! Russia, what are you doing? You've got level 1 buffs! You're statistically overpowered in comparison to the United States! What have you done, Russia? Russia, what are you doing? You're losing faster than the last game! This shouldn't be possible, Russia! What the hell is going on? Putin, what are you doing? Why aren't you riding the bloody bears into battle? You'd be overpowered, but... Oh my god. Was it the border goal, Putin? Did you look at a map? Is Putin dead? Did he look at the map and die? Is that why this is... I think that could actually be why this has happened. Maybe that was the United States strategy. Cause horrific border goal, forcing Putin himself to commit, I don't know, probably seppuku or something. Because, oh my god, those borders! Oh... Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But it's now winter. Oh, and it was just winter, and we know what that means. The Russians are advancing back. They're pushing the Americans back. Well, by quite a way, in fact. That was actually a good push by the Russians. It doesn't stop. Russia? Are you okay, Russia? Russia? Oh my god. Oh my god, Russia. Oh my god, Russia. Jesus, glory to a Stotsko or whatever. Jesus Christ, this is incredible. Oh my good lord. Looks like Russia's going to win this one, ladies and gents. Really does. Oh my good lord, look at that. They've pushed the Americans all the way back and further. This is incredible. I wasn't expecting this. I'm sure many of you were sat there like, this is it. Russia, you're done for, mate. Like, why did you bother with this? But no, it's incredible. They've actually managed it. Hats off to them today, ladies and gentlemen. I was not expecting that at all. Oh god, have a sip of tea indeed. That was absolutely incredible. I think Russia might actually be able to equalise this. Of course, if they do, the US in the next game will also get the same buff Russia did. But, oh my god, my mind is just blown. That was incredible. What is the United... What the... What the... Serenity now. I think there are many things that you don't always expect. And this certainly wasn't one of them. Ladies and gents, the United States. What an unexpected bastard. Okay, fine, US, you've had it too easy for now. This time it's different. The Soviet Union has been given some glorious modifiers, making them hopefully twice as powerful as the puny Americans, with even more oil as well. That's right, Americans, there's no way you're going to be surviving this Russian invasion. Come on, you Russians, let's do this. The Russian forces not only have an extra 10 organisation on all of their men also fight 20% better. That's incredible. Those Russian potato farmers with AK-47s, they can do some incredible things when thrown onto the battlefield. And it's winter, and you know what that means? It's Russian duck hunting season, basically. In fact, it's Russian season for everything, because it's always winter. In fact, it's never, it's not global warming, it's just always winter. If anything, that means Russia's impossible to invade, so hats off to them. But yes, Russia's actually had quite a slow start here. I was expecting something a little bit more quick, you know? I mean, I've got the intense Russian music playing in the background that would often encourage you to, I don't know, get a faster invasion on there, Mr. Russian. Oh, and there we go, that's much more like it. Wow. Wow, would you look at that? That's incredible. Well, there you go. First glorious Russian victory. And here we have it. Russia have pulled in their first victory. And with a short setup to give the United States the buffs from the second game and the Soviet Union the same buffs from the last game, we're off to a flying start. Russia has actually managed to dive quite early onto the Romanian-held United States. Sorry, I mean United States-held Romania. You know, it's easy to mix them up. Although don't forget, Romania is a major country. Very major, 100% promise. Guarantee, Spiffing seal of approval. But what is this? The United States are making their way into Russia. They're pushing quite quickly. What happened to that Russian pride that managed to carry them so easily into Romania? Russia, what? Russia, no! Russia, if you lose this, you lose it entirely. They're on the doorstep of Moscow, Russia. Russia, no. Come on, Russia, you can do this. I believe in you. Please, oh my. Wow, there you have it, ladies and gents. With just 4 games in it, the United States have done the impossible. They've proved not only that they're the most powerful nation, but that on an even and even uneven playing field, they can pull their weight and they can punch far higher above their belt than Russia can manage. Now, I know many of you are probably sat here watching and thinking, well, you've done the 2 major powers of the world, the 2 modern major powers. You've got Russia, you've got the United States, but what about the 3rd? Why can't we have United States versus Russia versus the 3rd world major power? And to that I say, don't you worry, I've got you covered. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a 1v1v1 of the ultimate world powers.